Hey guys, Star77 Productions here, and we are a YouTube channel and we do product reviews of stuff you can purchase on Amazon, stuff that we use here in our home that we fully recommend. You can just go to the link in the description and purchase some of these products on Amazon. And today we are going to review the Yamaha PSR-EW310, and that is the entry-level kind of beginner type piano keyboard from Yamaha, and it is underneath the $300 price point. In fact, you can get a nice stand, very durable stand. You can get a pedal and the power cord as well, kind of all bundled in, and still be at about that $300 price point. So it is very budget friendly, and it does have a lot of the cool features and functionality of some of the more expensive Yamaha brands. But to get you started, get you going, with everybody being home so much these days, it is a great tool to have and great learning device for your family. And this one right here is the 76 key. So it is not quite a full 88 key piano, but it is much larger than some of the smaller compact ones that are a little bit more portable, you know, with the 61 keys and less. So this does have 76 keys, which gives you a lot of options. In fact, with so many keys, you can use the split mode on here, which is this button right up here, and it'll split the keys in half, give them the same sound, you know, or you could do a different voice accompaniment on them. And that way, two people can play and learn together at the same time, kind of splitting the keys in half. So towards the end, I'll kind of bring the camera in and let you guys get a good look at everything that you get with this keyboard. It's got a nice rest up here that attaches in. You know, you can put your music sheets up here. A lot of times I'll just put a tablet up here and have a lesson going on there. You can connect a smart device to the back here. In the back you'll find you have a sustain for a pedal. You have a power outlet for AC. You have battery replacements in case the AC power is not working. And you have a USB to plug in your smart device, your tablet, or even a computer. And then lastly, you have the audio in, audio out, and you can, you know, hook headphones to that and an amplifier as well. So when you hook a smart device up, you can record what you're playing onto that smart device. You can also feed in audio into the built-in speakers here on the system, so you can listen to background accompanying music as you're playing through your lessons too, if you want to do it that way. So that's what we kind of do here, is do a lot of the lessons that you can find online. So it's a pretty light piano. It's not too terribly big. You can put this, you know, fit this just about anywhere in your home, no problem. I'll also give you a link to the sturdy stands here, which are around $40 to $45, that have the locking mechanisms in here. And you do have to buy a power supply. That is one thing that it does not come with, is a power supply. Everything else is built in and ready to go. It just takes a little bit of learning to kind of figure out how to do it. So it does come with this very large owner manual here, but it really is only 60 pages for each different language, so it's not too terribly bad going through this. And I definitely recommend going through that and kind of familiarizing yourself with the different functions of this. And here shortly we'll go in and take a look at everything that it has to offer. If I had to say any cons about the piano, well, one, at this price point you can't get weighted keys, you know, so it doesn't quite have that feel of an acoustic piano, 88 key piano that are weighted, you know, that are hitting the hammers and the strings, making those sounds. But it is touch sensitive, which is really good. So the harder you hit it, you know, the louder it will be. And you can do a soft touch as well, and it'll register that. And you can change the touch sensitivity as well through the function button here. There's about 60 different functions here. Quite a few things that you can change You know, you're changing the split setup, you're changing smart chord, you're changing the volume, the auto power on and off, and a whole bunch of other functions in there. Some of the coolest features on here is it's got a pretty decent LCD screen up here. I'll get a close-up of this. It does have all 76 keys on here, and it will show you what you're playing. It will show you a chord that you need to be playing if you're going to do lessons. And you can also watch the screen as it's playing a demo song. Like if you click demo here and hit play, it'll just kind of go through that. And you can see what keys it's hitting, and you kind of learn how to play songs that way. So you can kind of listen to the speakers here as we're doing this demo. Alright, so you can see the music does get pretty loud on here. The speakers are pretty good. When you're playing the volume of the keys, that can get pretty loud as well. So that is a really good feature. These built-in speakers are quite nice. They're not too terribly loud, but you can definitely get some nice rich sounds with them. And the backup music, as you heard there, it comes through pretty nicely for sure. So it definitely packs a punch. So yeah, it does not have the weighted keys. It does have touch sensitive keys. It has all sorts of voices, you know, to change what they sound like, anywhere from just regular grand piano to flute to a drum kit to a choir to a bass, strings, all sorts of voices on here. I don't know, there's like 300, 400 different voices to choose from. And it's got all the labeling here on each one of these keys. This kind of shows you a whole list of different chords and the starting position you can use, because this thing does have smart chord, where you only have to play the first key in the whole chord, and it will play the rest for you, making, you know, it much easier to play more harder to maneuver chords for sure. And then it also has different emblems on what percussion instrument sound effect you can make as you're branching off and exploring some of those other sounds. So this is kind of the initial setup here with the two speakers. So let's go ahead and bring you in for a closer look, and we can see what else we got going on here. Okay, so we'll bring you in a little bit closer here, kind of a better view of what we got going on here. You can see fairly well the size of the speakers, and I was showing you those output. Quick reference to the songs that you can play, that you can learn, reference to the different styles. You got your master volume here, your power, demo button here. It just has like maybe 3 or 4 demo songs, so you can kind of get the feel of what the piano can do. Your metronome, you just click on that and it'll keep your beat for you. You can change the tempo by hitting tempo here. Right now it's on a 76. We can drop that down with the plus or minus over here. Speed that tempo up. So that really helps having a built-in metronome. And you can just hit that again to stop it. And then whenever you want to change the tempo, just hit on tempo and go plus or minus as well. I don't know if you can see all this, but you could probably see the keys down here. You have your visual 76 keys. I might be able to do a close-up on this. But as you're playing it, you can see which notes you're playing. And it will light them up. So as you're doing one of those lessons, it'll also light it up and you can kind of play along. As we move down here, you have the L and R. So if you're doing a piano lesson here through the keyboard, you can just do the left side of the piece or the right hand of the piece. Down below this is where we have our fast forward, rewind, pause, start and stop, and then your record button here. So it does have some recording capabilities to play back and record some of your songs. You can just hit the record button here, and then you can clear out the cache when you're ready to re-record and put some new songs on here. And then lastly over here you have A through B repeat, and this is where you can just delegate a certain section of a song and repeat that phrase so that you can practice along with it. Okay, and then in the middle here with the LCD screen, you have 6 main buttons along the side. The 3 on the left are primarily for lessons. So you have keys to success, phrase repeat, and then listening, timing, and waiting. So whatever song you want to do, you can break it down using the keys to success, and that'll just give you little sections you can do. Once you've mastered one section, it'll give you a grade on it, and then if you pass, you can move on to the next session. Phrase repeat is where you hear a section of it, then you just have to repeat it. And then listening, timing, and waiting is where you can listen to the song. You can practice the timing of the song by trying to play along with it. And then lastly, it will, this one's called waiting, and it'll actually wait until you hit the correct key or chord. And then if you hit the wrong one, you'll get a slight little beep saying it's the wrong one, and then you have to move over to the correct key. And then lastly on here, you can get to the chord dictionary as well, which will step you through any chord that you want to find on here. So if we do the keys to success, you can hit that, and it'll just say play along. It'll probably pick one of the first songs on here, and you can change it to whichever step you want to do. We'll just do step 1. You can hit play and just kind of follow along, and if you do good enough on the step, alright, so we can stop that, and you would just keep going along, following along, and you'd probably get to about 20 or 30 measures, and then it would grade you and it would move on to the next step. Phrase repeat is kind of the same thing. It'll just go through a phrase and have you repeat it. And then listening and timing, if you click on this one, you can just listen to the song. Let's change the song on here. We can go down to maybe this one. And see, that volume gets pretty good. You can adjust how high the volume goes in the function setting as well. Alright, and then we can click through to waiting, and it'll just kind of wait along for you to hit the correct key. And you'll kind of get a beep if you hit the wrong one. So let's hit the wrong one. And it'll wait for you to hit the correct one, and then you just kind of cycle through and get to it. And if you hit the wrong one, yeah, you can hear it. Alright, so that is very helpful in getting through songs. So that kind of shows you the different lessons, and they have quite a few to choose from in there. And then moving on over to the right side, these are the different voices, the different songs, and the different styles. So like I said, there is hundreds and hundreds of voices to choose from. You just click on this and you can do your keypad here. If we just want a guitar, you just put in 044 and it'll bring in a guitar. for you. We can turn that up just a little bit. And if you want a trumpet, you can just put in 1/4 and quite a few to choose from. 242 is drum kit. And like I said, hundreds of those to choose from. Then you have some songs in here. These are all the built-in songs that you can play along with, that you can listen to, that you can phrase repeat, that you can do that grading session, the keys to success. You can do different parts past that, and it'll move you on to the next section. So quite a few songs in here. Hold that down and then just click the plus button over here and cycle through it. Yeah, see, it's got Amazing Grace, Aurora Lee, all sorts of stuff here. Let's see how many it has. Just keep clicking. Yeah, I think we have hundreds and hundreds of songs in here as well. Yeah, so you can pick whichever song you want and it'll walk you through it, and you can look at the different measures here and the different keys here. There's a tiny little section here that shows you what chord to be playing. Up here in the top left shows you if you're in dual or split mode, whether the harmony function's on, whether the DSP or duo mode is on. Over here it shows you the slight touch sensitivity meter to see how hard you're hitting it. And then up here it shows you that you have your voice on, the song on, and which style if that was the case. And so lastly, the button over here is the different styles that you can use. So if you play Brit rock, we'll turn that down a little bit. It will play some cool background music that you can play to and add to. So this one is Brit rock, and it's got numerous different styles. Let's see. It's got dance, R&B, country, Latin. We go to country, 90. Latin, 094. Turn that up and hear it pretty well. And then you can play along to any certain style that you'd like and just hit stop when you're done with that. If you always want to back out and clear everything, get back to the grand piano, you can just hit this grand piano button here. Okay, moving on over here, you have DSP. This kind of allows you to change the style to the sound a little bit and distort it just a little bit to how you may want to do it. Again, you have your number keypads up here. Up here is a music database. This has even more songs and music in it that you can choose from. If you click on it, it'll just say music database. You can start cycling through that as well. So number 1, we got Hey Jude on here. You can hit play. And this one will let you play along with it as well as you're going through it. So we'll just watch this go through a little bit. As soon as you hit a note, it'll tell you to play BM 7. And so it'll just wait until you play that. And then it'll move on to another chord. And you can just cycle through it, and it just shows you how to play each one of these chords. You know, so here we're playing the F. And then it'll move over to the C, and then back over to a G. So it's really great for beginners because there's a lot of lesson features in here. I mean, I do use my tablet a lot, but I also use the learning features in here as well. So down from the music database, which is probably one of my most popular ones, there's just a lot you can do, a lot of music they have stored in here. You have dual mode, where you can play 2 different voices at once. For the one stroke of a key, you can have it playing, you know, a guitar and a piano at the same time if you want to overlay instruments. That's dual mode. Split mode is where you split half of the piano in half. If you're teaching a kid or anyone else you're playing with, you guys can both each use half of the piano. And you got your harmony mode here. And then down below is your, you have a memory button here to see what's in your memory as far as recordings, and your function here. So this has like 60 functions. You can cycle through it. You can change the different volumes. You can change storage type, the auto off and on, the battery mode, the different tunings, split piano, touch resistance, the master volume, master chorus, master octave, and just cycle through those and change those as well. And you can always reset this back to the default if need be. It's kind of hard to cycle through these functions, but if you hold the function down and hit minus, you can cycle back as well if you push it one too many times, but you have to cycle through it 6 times. So yeah, I think that's a nice little cover of most of the things that this piano has. Quite a few functions, quite ease of use. You know, you can just set this thing up and start playing right away. Really good for beginners all the way up to advanced, I would imagine, especially at the price point. So again, we'll put the links to all this information that we bundled in with ours so that you can choose, and follow the links to Amazon. Just put any comments or questions that you might have. We definitely have time to answer those, and look forward to any videos that we might be posting in the future. Thank you so much for watching.